Hello, hello. We are testing out the stream and we're doing a live reaction to What If Season 3. That's just dropped on Disney Plus, dropping every day this week on Disney Plus. Started out December 22nd with What If the Hulk Fought Mech Avengers. Live reaction right here to the first two episodes. Second episode, What If Agatha Went to Hollywood? Okay, these are full spoiler alerts. We're also testing out the live stream on YouTube, giving it a go. And it seems like it's working. I can hear it on my, my phone here as I'm playing with it. We're also recording. We'll release this as a podcast. And let's see if we can do let's see if we can chat. Chat test. Let's do a test. So we can Okay, yeah, this wants me to like sign in still to chat. I'm gonna be able to chat with you guys, so I'm definitely gonna. Like I said, we're killing two birds, one stone today. Testing out the chat, testing out the stream, and let's grab this one. So many passwords, which is a good thing. Let's grab this. Let's go back to OBS. Here we go. I got to verify on my phone. This is great. Resend it. Okay. I think. Yes. All right. Let's start a Q&A. Let's close this. Yeah, chats are coming through. We see them. All right, cool. We got a Q&A going in the chat, and we are recording here on December 23rd. It's Monday. It's the week of Christmas. It feels like Christmas. Carrie and I are still working a little bit over here, but it's Christmas time. We're getting ready to shut it down. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. And a gift that I'm opening each morning right now is the season 3 of What If premiere on Disney Plus, the MCU animated TV show that is back again, and they're bringing back what they did last year, daily drops of the season each day this week. So starting December 22nd, just yesterday on Sunday, I think there's going to be 8 episodes. Got a list actually that we can refer to for a little help from the direct, giving us all of the list of episodes. We'll include this link in our episode description. And these even do look ahead to the future episodes, and you do get the title of them at least. I've been staying away from that. If you listen to the pod, you know how I am with spoilers, and I don't even want to know the title, honestly, just because it tells it's so giving. You can kind of start to picture what the episode's going to be, and you might start building up expectations of what it should be. And I just like getting dropped into what is it going to be today. And let's start with the premiere, episode 1, What If, season 3, quick reaction from me. Want to hear from you as well at mostlysuperheroes.com, mostly superheroes everywhere on socials. Spoiler alert. What if the Hulk fought mech Avengers? If you saw our post on social media, I gave an instant reaction with a few words that are going to come to mind when you watch this, if you're of a certain age, and if you just enjoyed this as a straight up robot Avengers, that is what it's about. But things that were coming to my mind as a lifelong fan, a 35-year-old lifelong fan, Voltron, Transformers, Power Rangers. I mean, and all the stuff we've talked about with Voltron this year in Four Hands and the Voltron beer, we've done a lot of stuff with Voltron, so it's definitely top of mind. But this was awesome to see actually get played out in a what if episode. And the Marvel animation team is back, the writers are back, and I'll tell you this, all the actors are back. You are going to get a great ensemble in here. Already gave that spoiler alert. This is about mech Avengers, giant robots with some of our favorite Avengers. Sam Wilson, Captain America, played by Anthony Mackie. We got Mark Ruffalo playing his version of Bruce Banner, the Incredible Hulk, and a great storyline between these two kind of being friends. Replaying out some scenes from like Captain America the Winter Soldier on your left. They've swapped the roles now. Now Anthony Mackie is the one moment. Another password request, of course, this is a test session, so we're going to have to cut some of this out when we release it as a podcast. Don't worry, none of this crap will be in here. Cool, we're in. Okay, and we got Shuri in here with the actor that plays her in the movies. We got Monica Rambeau uh in this one, Shang-Chi, Moon Knight, and a lot more. Pretty much a whole Avengers team that's coming together, not just as the Avengers in their suits, and you get to see them in the what if animation style, but also with their own pairing mech Avengers suit for the Gamma Wars. What were the Gamma Wars? Bruce Banner trying to solve his Hulk problem, kind of like he did in Endgame. He wants to get the Hulk out of him or make it work, and this time he tries to take it out, and he kind of succeeds for the first time, getting the Hulk out of his body. And what does it become? It pretty much becomes Godzilla. Like, I think this is the Godzilla tribute, essentially. It looks like a Godzilla. It might be even like a Godzilla villain. I think they even call this thing the Alpha, or the Alpha, the Omega, the Apex, maybe the Apex. Um, and that might be like a Godzilla villain. This is where my Godzilla knowledge is just adjacent to those actual diehard Godzilla fans out there, but I've seen enough to know that there's a whole bunch of Godzilla ties to this show. What If season 3 episode 1, and it's a Hulk monster that essentially lays a bunch of mini Hulk monsters, but the big one, the Apex, I mean it's huge. It's like the size of like Mount Everest. Like, it's just so big, and they develop these giant suits to fight them in the Gamma Wars. And it's just action packed. Really cool action sequences, bigger scale. You can feel the scale of how big everything is. And again, complete nods to Voltron and Power Rangers and Transformers. The people that did this first. I think this episode even kicks off with like a kid watching the old school cartoons. That was something that was cool about this premiere, was they dropped you into the old school Marvel cartoons, the old Hulk, the old Iron Man. They gave him like longer hair, maybe the old Thor. Uh, you get all these Avengers in the old style cartoons, and it flashes out to a kid like watching on her iPad, eating a bowl of cereal. Like, this is the classic Saturday morning cartoon culture that they're again kind of giving a little nod to. Like, everything that's happening in this episode is about that kind of that frame of mind, that culture. And this episode delivered for me. It was just really fun. You got some personal stuff between Sam Wilson and Mark Ruffalo, getting to see like different sides of their characters, where I start to feel like this might help even with some future MCU stuff. Like, if you haven't been following a lot of the MCU movies and TV shows, What If can kind of catch you up on the overall tone of a character. I think that's what this show is doing pretty well, is they're bringing in characters that are familiar, refreshing you on their tone, letting you see them interact with characters in new ways and do different things. But when you see Captain America Brave New World, you might have a little bit more of a familiarity and a longing for that movie to come out if you've seen this season 3, episode 1 of What If, the Hulk verse Mech Avengers, because you get a lot of Sam Wilson. Anthony Mackie's playing the role. It feels awesome to have him in that Captain America role, like outside of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then the upcoming movie in February, Captain America: Brave New World. So this episode is kind of getting me jazzed for that. So that's the first episode. Really having fun with the season so far, and we even want to go ahead and talk about the second one that's out so far. So watch for that. What If Season 3, Episode 2 is here as well, dropping Monday, December 23rd. These things are available first thing in the morning, by the way. Like, it's the week of Christmas. If you're hanging out and you get to be off at all and you are trying to put something on your TV and you're a Marvel fan, this is what you want to watch. What if Agatha went to Hollywood? And this was an episode. This has a lot going on, and it was very fun, very visually stunning, and for me personally, brought back some stuff from movies like The Eternals that I was very pleased to see back in the MCU. So with that, we'll give that full spoiler alert about the episode. If you haven't seen it yet, go out and watch it. If you have, that spoiler alert, it's already been given. Agatha does indeed go to Hollywood because she finds out, get this, about the Tiamat celestial god that's in the heart of the earth. If you have seen the movie Eternals, which I watched this one, I like this movie. It gets a lot of flack. I think it's a great movie. I just watched it. I mean, it was yesterday or the day before. And a lot of times I had these instincts to watch certain things before other things come out. This was it. I watched Eternals yesterday. This is an Eternals focused what if. And I think that's so cool because there's so much with these characters to be explored. A lot was introduced in that movie. There's rumors that we don't get a sequel of Eternals. I'm hoping that's not true. But even if we didn't, there's things that they are bringing back into the fold. So Agatha does find out, and this is Catherine Hahn playing the character. At least I think. They sound so good. Sometimes they get sound-alikes that will really trick you, but I'm pretty sure this is Catherine Hahn. And it's the 60s, and we get like 1960s Howard Stark, who we've seen in, movies, Captain America, The First Avenger. What if he's been along for all the Peggy Carter episodes? And it's this young Howard Stark. He's got his Jarvis in this one, and they're essentially working in Hollywood. That's like this multiverse. Howard Stark works in Hollywood. It's a bit of a leap for me, but he's doing it. And Agatha's plan is to use Hollywood to perform a ritual. What's Agatha's thing? What's her whole thing? Sucking powers, right? Like sucking and stealing powers. And that's her plan here, is to use Hollywood to create a set, to create like ruins, to run a spell, to suck up the powers from Tiamat, the celestial god that in Eternals we learn will erupt because these gods need intelligent life to grow. And then one day they just destroy the planet that they're born into. So all of us, like here on Earth, would die just so this god could live. That was the whole story in Eternals. Same thing here, except Agatha got ahead of it. Same thing with the other Eternals. Who do we get in this one? Kumail Nanjiani bringing back his character of Kingo. And you'll remember in Eternals, he was an actor that didn't age, and he did a series of kind of like Indiana Jones, but Indian version movies. And he was a big actor. Here he is again. These two face off each other in a giant Hollywood dance ensemble. Yeah, a lot of dance, a lot of music, a lot of tap dancing, a lot of Howard Stark just yelling like more, more. And I think a big miss on this part was he had Jarvis. Anthony Stark had, or not Anthony, Howard Stark had Jarvis helping him out in this episode. That's great. His right hand man, his valet, if you will. Well, in Eternals, Kingo, Kumail Nanjiani, had a valet as well. I forget his name, but he was a big part of the movie. And they did not bring him into this What If episode. I thought that was a huge miss. Like, you could have a couple of valets, like, kind of riffing off each other and making jokes, and there's something there. But either way, what else has Agatha done? She's already stolen the powers from the rest of the Eternals because, like, in this multiverse, she's just learned about everything. She's very old. She's been around for the whole thing. Takes the other Eternals' powers And Kingo decides, I'm going to face off against you to beat you. But then they end up teaming up because they're on the same page about like Tiamat shouldn't come out and kill everyone. She can prevent it by taking the powers. And then it becomes Erisham, the original, like one of the OG celestial gods from Eternals, is here to stop what's happening. He's seen that they're plotting against him, and now he's on his way to Earth, which I liked in this episode of what they didn't do in Eternals. In Eternals, Erisham just shows up at the end, and it's like a very much like a teleport situation where he just kind of appears. This one, they kind of show it like Infinity War style, where the Hulk was coming in via the Bifrost, and you kind of like get to see him like circle like Jupiter or whatever. In this one, Erisham's like passing by the Watcher's face, and it looked pretty epic. I think that's one of this is my favorite thing really about this episode is Agatha does succeed. She takes the power from the Celestial and Earth, becomes huge right as Erisham arrives. So they're both right outside the Earth, and she's this magnificent giant, pretty much Agatha witch now with celestial powers, and we get this insane fight scene. Like this is going to give you like foreshadowing on like what a Galactus will feel like in the MCU once we get Fantastic Four and stuff rolling. Like this is showing even in animation just how good these grand fights can look, and Agatha just looked beautiful. The colors were insane. Seeing the Eternals like circles, patterns, glowy type effect that they've did in the movies was really front and center here in the show. And then story wise, it seems like Agatha's gonna do her thing and like turn completely evil. She has all this power. She just beat the big Erisham god. She beats him. Oh, what's she gonna do now? Kingo convinces her just to take over a new leaf, be an actor, make movies, and like use your power to like create world peace. And that's what Howard Stark says. He's like, we have world peace. We're just making movies now. Movies are amazing, kind of cool, whatever. And then the Watcher says, like, is there going to be any ramifications? Of course, you killed like the ultimate celestial out in space. Are more going to come? And that's the cliffhanger. All of these celestials just come up to Earth and roll credits. So really fun, really grand. Maybe just I'm a big musical guy, but maybe a hair too much tap dancing and just Howard Stark yelling as a director was kind of too much. I was like, hey, let's get to the Agatha, the Kingo. Like I like seeing their power set. I really love seeing Eternals getting brought back into the fold. As a fan of that movie, wanting to see more of those characters and more of those storylines, it's really promising to me to see it front and center here on What If episode 2 of season 3. And what this could mean for larger MCU, we'll see. We're being told that this What If season's the final story. I think that means that like this storyline with the Watcher and the Guardians of the Multiverse, it's all going to come to a close. They usually bring that back into at the last 2 or 3 episodes. They start building toward this kind of like final fight where everybody's going to team up and come in. So everything you've seen from these episodes from before season 1, season 2, just expect those to be coming back. So daily drops this week. December 23rd is today, Monday, and they'll be dropping all the way through looks like the last episode. Let's see how many there are. Let's just really give it to you. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So today's the 23rd. We've had 2 episodes so far. So 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, and the 29th. You're going to get a what if episode every day on Disney Plus. So we'll keep talking about it. Look for instant reactions and quick posts on our social media at Mostly Superheroes and more reviews like this on the podcast. Subscribe and listen where you watch or listen to podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, Patreon, and mostlysuperheroes.com. It's all there. I'm your host, Logan. We'll see you next time. Take it easy.